So the first and biggest mistake is exercising too much and not getting enough sleep. So, if you're a new mum or this is your second or your third baby, you know that for those first, 6 months to a year, you're not going to be sleeping great. So exerting yourself or overexerting yourself in the gym is not wise. So you can only do as much exercise as you can recover from. So there's no point in you really killing yourself in the gym and getting 2 or 3 hours sleep every night, or broken sleep every evening. You're just not going to be able to recover, and therefore you're not going to be able to put as much effort into your workouts. So you must balance the workouts with the sleep. I would say train maybe 2-3 times a week, but absolutely nothing more, especially if your sleep is broken. Okay, that's going to allow your stress hormones to stay low and allow you to therefore, you're going to get better workouts. You're going to be able to burn more body fat. You're going to be able to work harder. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing is, after you've given birth, your body is now 9 months behind on nutrients. So when you're producing a baby, it's very calorie. It costs a lot of calories for the body to produce a baby, and it also costs a lot of nutrients. This is why you find yourself eating a lot more when you're growing a baby. That's why people say you're eating for two. Absolutely, because you are growing a human, and that requires fuel, so calories, but it also requires a lot of minerals and a lot of nutrients. And you need to replace those minerals and nutrients after you've given birth, and even while you're pregnant. But if that's too late for you, then getting those nutrients into your system after you give birth is a massive benefit, because things don't work properly if you don't have the right minerals, if you don't have the right nutrients. A lot of the processes inside the body, especially energy production, which then relates to your thyroid activity, right? So your metabolism is dependent on a lot of nutrients such as selenium, zinc, iodine, these type of things. And if you're low in those minerals, you can't create the correct thyroid hormones to boost your metabolism. So the food you used to eat before is now making you overweight, even though you're not eating any different, but you have a different body now, right? Because you're lower in nutrients. So putting those nutrients back in is 100% paramount of importance. Almost as important as getting enough sleep and only training a certain number of times a week. So those would be my recommendations. Train 3 hours a week. Get as much sleep as you can, even if it's small naps here and there. Get as much of that as possible, and make sure you get a very high nutrient dense diet. And I would add in lots of supplements as well at this stage, especially if you're breastfeeding as well. You don't want the baby to be low in certain nutrients because you don't have them in your system. So those would be my recommendations. You follow those, you should have no problem losing weight again.